Today in Algebra 1 we started a percents foldable. So some applications of percent. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. And that's a definition you'll want to have in your Frayer model soon. There are three things we're going to talk about: how to move a percent to a fraction. And to do that, you're going to write the percent over 100 and simplify. To change a fraction to a percent. A fraction to a percent. You're going to do the fraction equal to x over 100. And to get a percent to a decimal, you're going to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. And on this tab, we're talking about conversion. So converting from percents to fractions to decimals and all of those things backwards as well. On the back, we're going to look at some examples. So on the back side of the tab, we're going to make a chart. Three columns across and 5 columns down. And in the first column, we're talking about the decimal. In the second, the fraction. The third, the percent. I'm going to start by filling in a few things, like 0.83 here, 2/3 here, 10% here, 0.002 here, and 7/500 here. And we're going to try and convert each one of these things so that the whole chart's filled in, and for each we have how it's written as a decimal, a fraction, and a percent. Starting with the first one, if we start with a decimal of 0.83, to move it to a percent, the first thing to do, the easiest thing to do, is to move it over 2 places to the right. So it's 83%. Then, to get it as a fraction, we're going to do 83 over 100. 83 over 100. There isn't anything that can reduce to, so that's our final answer there. On the next one, if we want to move the fraction 2/3 to a percent, we're going to do 2/3 equals x over 100. To get x by itself, we're going to do 2 times 100, which is 200, divided by 3, which is 66. So that one's 66%. To change it to a decimal, we move it over 2 places to the left, and it's 0.66. On the next one, we're talking about 10%. To make that a fraction, we're going to do 10 over 100. That one can be reduced to 1 over 10, and that would be our fraction answer. To get the decimal, we move the decimal point over 2 places to the left, which is 0.10. On the next one, we're going to make 0.002 into a percent. We move it over 2 places to the right, so it's 0.2%. As a fraction, we do 0.2 over 100. Since 2 goes into both of those, we can reduce it to 0.1 over 50. The last one, 7/500, if we want to make that into a percentage, we do 7/500 equals x over 100. 7 times 100 is 700, divided by 500 is 1.4%. And finally, if we want to make that decimal, we do it over 2 places, and it's 0.014. That's the decimal. Okay, that's it for conversion. The next tab that we're going to look at is the proportion method. How to solve things using proportions. To do that, we're going to do part over whole equals percent over 100. So if they give you something, the whole goes on the bottom, what part of something happened goes on the top, the percent over 100. The 100 always stays on the bottom. Everything else you could fill in according to what the problem gave you and what they asked you to find. Also, is over of equals percent over 100. Again, you fill in what they give you and then find the rest of what they don't give you. 100 always stays on the bottom. There are a lot of problems on your homework like this, so don't forget is over of equals percent over 100. Let's look at an example of this. James shot 25 free throws. What is his percentage if he made 16 shots out of the 25? Okay, part over whole. He made 16 shots. That was a part of the ones he made. Out of 25, that was the total number he tried, equals x over 100. To figure out what percentage he made, we're going to do 16 times 100, which is 1,600, divided by 25, and x equals 64%. He made 64% of the shots he tried. Okay, what if, I'm going to change the question, what if his percentage was 84%? Then what amount of the shots would he have made? So we're going to do part over whole. We don't know the part, that's what we want to find out, how many shots out of 25 did he make if it was 84% of 100. 84 times 25 divided by 100 is 21. So he would have made 21 shots if his percentage was 84. The last tab we want to talk about is a circle graph. And if we're talking about a circle graph, then, I'm sorry, the phone's ringing. If we're talking about a circle graph, then we must do that the percent must total 100%. And we're going to use that part over whole equals percent over 100, just like before. And the parts must add up to get the whole. So you must add to get the whole. Okay, let's look at some examples here. If we did a survey of who has some pets, so the number of people who have a certain kind of pet. We want to know how many people have a dog only. How many people have a dog only? So we're going to look at our circle graph that we have. "12 people have a cat, 18 people have a dog, 9 people have both, and 11 people have neither." To figure out what percentage of people have a dog, we know that 18 people do. Out of how many total are there? Well, 18 and 12 makes 30, plus 11 is 41, plus 9 is 50. So we have 18 over 50 equals x over 100. 18 times 100 divided by 50 is 36%. So 36% of people have a dog only. The assignment for this was practice A. It was assignment A5, and I'll be happy to get that for you when you get back.